Howdy, folks. This is Tony here. And what you're looking at is a map of the election results from the November 2019 statewide elections for House of Delegate in Virginia. Now, if you notice, the way that these boundaries are drawn doesn't actually reflect the counties. Here's a county map of Virginia. Notice how you have so many more counties than you actually have here represented the distribution of these voting districts. For example, this densely populated, dense area of all these seats is essentially Prince William County, Loudoun County, Fairfax County, Alexandria, and Arlington. Pretty much that's just a handful of counties that gets this many seats. Now, it gets worse when you go down and you look at the state Senate map. What on earth is this, and why did they draw it that way? That makes absolutely no sense. You see here, they even have they segment off a whole area. They segment these two areas off from one another just to give Democrats a supermajority in that area. It makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. Just keep it simple, folks. You can avoid election crises like what we saw in this last election by simply going back to the county map and apportioning an even amount of voting districts per county. Make each county its own voting district with its own state senator and its own 2 members of the House of Delegates, and bam, there you go. That's all you really have to do. What I propose is that you essentially miniaturize the electoral college process onto the state level. Let the governor be determined by whoever wins the most counties, rather than having to draw weird boundaries like this just to get your guy elected. I mean, this makes absolutely no sense. What is this? How many counties are actually represented there? What is this jagged thing in the middle? Just why do they do things like this? Now, I have read articles where they say, oh, it's racial gerrymandering. They have to distribute the amount of black votes among all the counties. But here's the thing. Why are you looking at someone's color to determine how you draw voting districts? Whether or not you're doing it because you're trying to make things more fair, or you're doing it because you're trying to just win an election, either way, you shouldn't be looking at color. You should simply be looking at county lines, and that should determine it. Now, before I go any further, I just want to say I hope this over here is a joke. Justin Fairfax has no grip on the Constitution, and he does not have strong morals. I think even I could beat him if I ran against him in an election. This guy just has no credibility, and if he is the Democrats' best chance of keeping the governor's mansion after all of the unconstitutional gun laws that the Democrats are trying to pass in the next few weeks, then they're going to have a seriously hard time, and they're pretty much underwater in Virginia, depending on how this shakes up. But here's the point. Just go back to the counties and make each county its own voting district. That way, no counties feel underrepresented. Problem solved.